back to Joe Bob Summer School and the Blues Brothers on TNT.
We got both kinds of music, country and western. Another classic line from the Blues Brothers. And since this is a musical, we've moved into the summer school dance studio, and we're going to recreate one of the dances from the flick with the new Joe Bob Briggs dancers. Come on out here, guys. Dennis Hensley, Karen Dyer, and Shane Jacobson. Hey, guys, nice outfits.
Thank you.
I thought you could show me how to do that number Ray Charles sings, Shake a Tail Feather, since he calls out all those other dances. And is there a specific Shake a Tail Feather move, or is that just the general overall term for the whole Shake a Tail Feather medley of dances?
Well, there actually is a Shake the Tail Feather move, and that is to bend over, stick your derriere out.
I already don't like it.
It gets better. Once you do it, you'll love it. You won't be able to stop doing it.
What do you want me to do?
Then you got your hands, your feathers, and you put them back there, and you just shake it.
And shake.
Like that. See, you got it.
Okay,
you got
yeah.
happy feet, man. You got it in you.
I got it. Okay. I got that. What are the other steps I need to know?
There's a twist.
A twist?
Easy enough.
What is this?
That's just,
That's
you know.
not part of the twist.
It can be. You can make it your own.
Okay.
If you don't like that, make it simpler. That's fine.
All right. What else?
Pony.
The pony.
With a little swim on the top. Pony's just like.
Well, what's it?
Feet.
Oh, like riding a pony.
Like riding a pony. Then you add the swimming arms.
That makes sense. Okay.
That's cool.
They're all intuitive once you think about it.
Yeah, it'll
Go
come
ahead.
really naturally.
All right, what
You'll
next?
surprise yourself. Mashed potato.
Mashed potato.
Yeah.
What are you doing to the mashed potatoes?
You're
You're grinding them. You're mashing
Yeah,
the
like
potatoes.
as though they were grapes on the ground. Just smashing them right up. That's your mashed potato.
That was complex. Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
What else have we got? We got the fly.
The fly. Okay, that one is.
You know,
That
just
one
get
is,
your arms and your shoulders in there. I think
yeah.
the name says it all.
You know what? Let's just start the song, and I'll follow along with you guys, because it's cool. I got it. You know, I can
Are you
do
sure?
it.
I mean, you're.
Yeah. You know, no, anything you do, I'll just do it with you. All right.
All right. There you go. Now shake it. Yeah, shake it. Pony it out.
Pony it out.
Pony it out, Joe Bob.
We didn't
Get those
talk
legs
about
up.
ponying it out.
Get those legs up. Here we go. Here
I
comes
thought
the
we were gonna.
twist. Ready? Twist. Fly. Get it to swim. Swim. You're drowning. Swim.
I'm sorry. What's that one called?
Jerk.
The jerk.
Now we're doing the monkey.
The monkey.
It's like a jerk, but faster.
What's that? No animal does
Just
that.
turn in a circle. Mashed potato. Remember that? We did that.
Oh yeah, mashed potato.
Boogaloo. Just a little bit like this.
Boogaloo.
Now shake your leg out. Oh yeah.
What was that one with the shaking the leg
You know,
out?
as long as I'm on TV, I figured I ought to use this opportunity to promote my new book. It's just come out in paperback, and it's called Misadventures in the 213. Also available on audio.
Give me that. Come on, you're just here to teach dancing, okay? And by the way, how'd I do? That was pretty good, right?
That was pretty good.
This was the first time for no practice. Maybe next time I'll rehearse a little bit first.
Yeah.
It was a bad idea, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The Joe Bob Briggs dancers, we'll work on it. The Joe Bob Briggs dancers and novelists, of all things, apparently. Back to the flick. Did you know about this? What's with the novel?
It was in the plant. I just put it out.
As you know, nobody sings Stand By Your Man better than Dan Aykroyd, do they? You know, I've always wondered why the good old boys arrive so late at the bar. Because, I mean, the Blues Brothers have played several sets and they've closed the place down. If the good old boys were booked into the place for like 8 or 9 o'clock, regular booking, why would they not drive up until 2 a.m.? Do they explain that? I hate it when they don't explain this.
Let me explain it for you, Joe Bob. Hi, how
It's
y'all
the
doing?
number one good old boy. It's Charlie Napier himself.
Hey.
Charlie, what is up with that?
Well, in real, and the movie, nothing's up with it because nothing ever makes sense in the movie anyway. But in real life and movie time, the reason I got something for you. The scene was late was because Belushi kept putting off doing the scene. And by that time, they brought us back from Chicago, and we're on the lot at Universal, so I get dressed every night, get ready to do the scene, nothing happened. And I would send a limo a block, and I'd get in and drive down to see John. And this went on for like 3 weeks, and finally they take me, and I go down, drive out, get in a limo, and go in. I sit down, and I go, "What's wrong, man?" And he's sitting there, and he's got a bodyguard standing there. And it was always real eerie anyway. He goes, "I'm afraid you're going to kill me, man." And, I go, "Why? Why?" He goes, "I keep flashing back, man, on Super Vixens when you stomp the chick in the bathtub. And I feel like you're going to attack me." And so I said, "No, I'm not going to do that, man." He goes,
Man.
give me your word." So we shook hands, and, we went out and did the scene.
Then he did the scene.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming by, Charles, and explaining that. You know how many times we've talked about you on this show?
Yeah, I've been hearing you guys mention about the Skeeter.
About 100 times. Well,
Picking on my Skeeter movie,
well, that
man.
scene where you were killed by that giant killer mosquito in Skeeter, because you played that to the hilt. You had this giant plastic mosquito on you, and you're like, you were totally into the method on that thing. I mean, you died. It took you 5 minutes to die in that movie.
Yeah, well,
we loved it.
The reason is, you want to get out of there. You got to do this stuff once, and the motor quit working on the thing, and it was hot, as I recall. So I just, it's one of those days where you got to make the thing work like that.
How many movies have you made? Like 9,000 or? How many?
I don't know. I've been in maybe over 100. I was in Iowa last week, and somebody handed me a copy of the internet, and it was like, I think it was about 105 or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Most recently, Austin Powers, the Austin Powers movie. But I remember all the early stuff, like the Russ Meyer flicks, like you mentioned, Super Vixens, Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
Yeah.
And in fact, that scene in Super Vixens where you stomp the guy to death in the bathtub, I understand what John Belushi is talking about. That is among the most brutal scenes. You can be the nastiest guy. In fact, that might be #1 in the all-time nasty guy scenes done in the movies.
Well, we thought of every way to do somebody in. So I remember the night we were going to do that. We're sitting in a bar talking about it, Meyer and I, and somebody overheard us call the cops. No, they told me setting up a murder, right? And it was my idea. He always takes claim for it. I said, well, let's just stomp her to death,
Stomp her to death in the bathtub, right?
And throw the radio in for good measure. And,
Does that Russ Meyer Association, does that hurt you or help you?
It's helped me more than anything, actually, because Alfred Hitchcock was a big fan of his and put him in the contract.
I can see that.
Jonathan Demme was a big fan. That's how I got to part in the Blues Brothers. John Landis was a big fan.
And they all saw Super Vixens.
Yeah, so, well, what else you going to do? I don't do what you can do.
Right. I hear you got Lee Marvin fired one time when you read for his part.
I didn't get him exactly fired. I went in and I read, and they told me that he already had the part. And I'd known Stallone before briefly. So what the heck? So I sneaked on the lot, and I managed to get in somehow. And he was going by to work out in a T-shirt or something. I go, hey, man, how you doing? He goes, what are you doing here? I said, I want to read for the part. And he goes, okay, come on in. And I read for him, and he goes, Charlie B. going to Mexico. And the guy said, what about Lee Marvin? And he goes, pay him off, so whatever. And I'd known Lee, and I said, I better call him before he comes looking for me and kill me. And he goes, hell with it, I want to go fishing anyway, And that's how Adam Rambo.
That was kind of sneaky, Charlie.
I know. Well, I'm a bottom feeder. You got to get sneaky.
So after you
shark among mullets.
So after you shook hands with John Belushi and made up with him, did you party a little bit on the Blues Brothers?
The Blues Brothers was one whole party, from beginning to end.
Really?
What little I remember of it. That was one of those movies where the star has all the power, and he's kind of like your friend, and you get away with murder on stuff like that. But
you don't even have to explain.
None of us
would
would ever worked again if it had been a bomb, but it wasn't.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go back to the Blues Brothers. We'll talk more to Charles Napier at the next break. And what did they pay you for this role? Because the movie cost $30 million. As you said, a lot of that went for parties, right. But you must have got at least, what, $500,000 or something, right?
Let's see. I think we got up to about $300 a day per diem, and that was only because John liked us.
Oh, hell being a cult figure, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here with Steve Lawrence as the slimy booking agent, and of course that was Twiggy getting ogled by Dan Aykroyd at the gas station. We're still here with Charlie Napier, who plays Tucker McElroy, leader of the Good Old Boys, and you just got back from a Trekkie convention, didn't you?
Yeah, back in Riverside, Iowa. Yeah, there was about 100 Trekkies there, I guess.
Did you get down with the Trekkers? They're actually Trekkers, They get mad if you call them Trekkies.
Yeah,
we get mail anyway.
like that. Ended up watching a tractor pull, which was I'd never seen before. It was kind of interesting.
You skipped out on the Trekkie convention, went to the tractor pull?
No, it was like a con thing. They said it's going to be a Trekkie convention, but they used that as a lure to have the giant tractor pull, which blew us all out, you know. So it was like 50 Trekkies and about 2,000 rednecks screaming and pulling 10,000 concrete blocks down the street.
What was your Star Trek character?
Adam. Show's called.
You almost didn't remember.
Yeah, well, I've been asked it always. The Way to Eden, it was called, and it was the first and last time I think anybody ever sung on Star Trek.
Really? What did you sing?
Well, The Way to Eden. Heading out to Eden, yeah, brother, you know, stuff like that.
You were the first country western alien on Star Trek?
No. They thought it was, I was supposed to be a hippie.
Yeah.
It was a hippie. Yeah, it was about hippies going to another planet and Eden and all that. And then I died by eating some poison fruit or something.
All right. Now, you're playing a grandpa in your latest film.
Yeah.
What's that film?
Called Pirates of the Plain. It's made over in South Africa.
Okay. But you haven't been a dad for all that long, have you?
No, I went down hard. I waited till 50 to like really smoke out. So I got an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Yeah? What was the holdup there? What were you waiting for?
I just wanted to play.
Okay, all right, I'm with you. I'm going to be like Tony Randall.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to wait till I'm 90 to have kids. When I'm too old and frail to change the kids' diapers, right? Charlie Napier, thanks for coming by, Charlie. I appreciate it.
You bet.
But before you go, this is summer school. Get up. And so everybody has to learn something at summer school. So are the Joe Bob Briggs dancers still here? Because we're going to teach you how to...
How you doing?
We're going to teach you how to shake a tail feather. And go ahead.
Well, tail feather, as you know, is a euphemism for your buttocks. So you want to spread your legs.
I didn't know that.
Well, you're learning something too. Stick them out, and you got your tail feathers here. Stick them behind you, and shake it. Make it your own. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Okay, let's go. Ready?
Let's do it.
Go with it, Charlie. Got to do the jump thing. Help him out, honey. Okay. Were you in the movie, Charlie?
Yeah, but all I did was go, you. I didn't have to do all this. I feel like Belushi out here, man. I can't bend down like that. You got a phony knee. Like a suit. Like a giant grape.
Thank you, Charlie, for being a good sport.
Hey, buddy.
Nothing like a commercial break right in the middle of a car chase, is there? A lot of dead people in this movie, aren't there? Let's see, we got John Belushi, who OD'd on heroin and cocaine at the Chateau Marmont in Hollywood. John Candy, who had a heart attack in his sleep while shooting one of the worst movies he ever made, Wagons East, down in Mexico. Cab Calloway, who made it to age 87, which is pretty good. Guess that's not that many dead people. Just 3 dead people, especially since this flick was made 20 years ago. But 2 out of 3 of them died way before their time. And Dan Aykroyd was in the middle of writing the script for Ghostbusters, which Belushi was supposed to be in when he died. And, I mean, he was supposed to be in it before he died. You know what I mean. Actually, he was in it after he died because they made a Belushi ghost as an homage in the movie. Remember that? Also, it was a fluke, but Aykroyd and Belushi had decided that whoever died first, the other guy would play the 2,000-pound bee at his funeral. This song that they thought was so full of bad, buzzing electric guitar bee sounds that it would be great to force all the people in mourning to sit through it, which Aykroyd did at the funeral. And people thought he was in serious need of mental care for a while after that. All right, guess what time? Time for the excellent finale to the Blues Brothers. Go. I should point out that, ironically, Carrie Fisher was briefly engaged to Dan Aykroyd in real life. She's looking very wholesome and pretty in this flick, isn't she? See, this was when she was strictly known as Princess Leia, before she became the Dorothy Parker of the 90s, right? Everybody who doesn't know who Dorothy Parker is, it's 5 points subtracted from their grade. Dorothy Parker had some of the greatest lines of the 20th century. As I say every day when I open my email from TNT, what fresh hell is this? You have it, the greatest 1980s musical comedy car chase movie ever made, with a little cameo there at the end by Steven Spielberg to rekindle fond memories of 1941. And we have the mob to thank for their help in getting permission to drive the Bluesmobile through the Chicago courthouse lobby. So thanks, you guys. Okay, I want to let you know that next week, week 3 of Joe Bob's Summer School is Bodybuilding 304, Applied Anatomy and Biomechanics. That's right, our first upper division course. Few people realize that I have watched more aerobics videos, many of them in slow motion, than any man alive. And by the time you finish watching our 2 movies, Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer, you will look just like Arnold Schwarzenegger, I promise it. And workout pro Karen Voigt will be here as our guest lecturer. But, boy, are we in luck now. I'm Professor Joe Bob Briggs, and for the next 2 hours, you get to watch a weenie wearing lipstick running through the desert, giggling and trying to find his stolen bike. It's Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the movie that gave new meaning to the word Pee-wee. And it's like a giant human cartoon where these cardboard cutout actors run around with giant thumbs and toothbrushes and jump off trains and talk like nerds. And basically, if you're 5 years old or younger, this one's for you. Of course, in retrospect, if you keep in mind what we now know about Pee-wee Herman, the movie holds new meaning. So if you haven't seen it since 1985, and since this is Pop Culture 201, you'll find the subtext now wrought with significance. Okay, let's do those drive-in totals. We have no dead bodies, 2 breaths, both of them on Mark Holton, 1 bathtub wrestling match, 1 bicycle chase, 1 motorcycle crash, burning pet store, bar top tequila dance, gratuitous Milton Berle, kung fu, 2 stars. Check it out, and I'll be here to analyze it for you along the way. Go. This is one of those movies where they finished it and they said, we did put some plot in, didn't we? Oh, yeah, we did. I mean, I didn't, but I think Bill did. And did you put in the plot, Bill? No, but Sam put in the plot. Sam? Okay, don't tell me. We forgot the plot again, didn't we?